So let's just get to it. Disney refused to let a family put Spider-Man on their son's gravestone. Ollie Jones suffered from a rare genetic disorder called "fuck you for killing the 4-year-old little boy, you shitty gene." He was a huge Spider-Man fan, and when he passed away, his parents held a Spider-Man themed funeral for him and wanted to have Spider-Man put on Ollie's gravestone. This seems fine. The kid loved the character, so why not put Spidey on a gravestone? But, according to the reports, the family was told they need to get permission from Papa Disney, and that's where it got ridiculous. Quote, Disney refused to give the go-ahead because the company wanted to preserve the innocence and magic around its characters. What are you talking about? Nobody's gonna see Spidey on a gravestone and think Spider-Man represents something negative. It's the kid's favorite character. He'd probably want Spider-Man on there, just like he'd want Spidey pics all over his room. Hell, Spidey probably would have marked it with the symbol if he were real. But it gets worse. Quote, the rejection email from the US-based giant instead offered the devastated family a personalized celluloid frame, effectively an action frame taken from a comic or film, showing the scene from Spider-Man with a handwritten message to Ollie. What the fuck? It's Spider-Man, not Johnny Cage. What kind of schmuck does that? A personalized picture? You know the person who would have enjoyed that is no longer with us, right? So what's the point? And then Ollie's dad said, quote, I really wasn't expecting this. It's another massive blow. I felt sure they would allow it. Lloyd said the movie giant is trying to disassociate their characters with death and felt the decision was about money. He added, that makes no sense to me. Characters die in their films all the time. I think this was all about money. I get where he's coming from, but in fairness, this has been Disney's policy since back when Walt Disney was alive. And I kinda get it. They're protecting their license and brand. We know how people are, and there's a good chance there'd be tons of people putting Disney characters on gravestones, which is sad and dark for multiple reasons. I get that they don't want the tangential connection, but, and there is a but, these characters mean a lot to so many people, especially kids. You can't go through all this trouble to put these characters into kids' lives and then get stingy when things get dark. The heroes themselves wouldn't act like this, so neither should the companies. Now, Disney isn't the only one who pulls this either. Time Warner did the same thing and it was worse. Little Jeffrey Baldwin was starved to death by his grandparents, and a guy named Todd Boyce wanted to have a statue built in Jeffrey's memory. The boy's favorite character was Superman, so Boyce wanted the S-shield on the kid's chest. But DC Entertainment refused to give Boyce permission because they didn't want Superman associated with child abuse. Right. Literally no one would think that. Even child abusers are like, what the hell are you talking about? The whole point of Superman is that he inspires hope. That's what he did for this kid. He was the one good thing in this kid's life. Why shouldn't his symbol be on the statue? If Superman were real and he heard about this kid's life, he'd probably go to the statue and etch the S-shield on it himself. That's who Superman is. That's what he represents. That's what DC says he represents. That's what everyone thinks he represents. Come on. So, after tons of negative press, DC Entertainment caved and allowed it like they should have done to begin with. Now, I'm not sure if Disney will do the same thing. They've got decades of denying this kind of stuff to lean on, so there's a good chance they won't. If they do, it'd at least be a nice gesture. One other thing I want to talk about is how the usual suspects are quiet about this. I haven't seen much buzz come from the comic book pros in general, the SJW Brigade, or the movie stars. You'd think someone from the Spider-Man film or Chatterbox Chris Evans would have something to say about this, but no. I guess if it's not about defending an uptight self-righteous feminist white woman or getting virtue signal points, just doesn't bring it out of them. That's a shame because this is really something I think people shouldn't have a problem supporting. I do get why Disney doesn't want their brand and licenses to be gravestone adornments, but come on Disney. This was a little kid who loved Spider-Man. This is literally the least you could do.